All right, so I guess we just start out, Peter, you can go ahead and read your thing.
Okay. This meeting of the Historic District Commission will take place in a webinar format through Zoom. The chair of the commission is Sarah Moriarty. The host of the webinar is the building officials. Staff attending this meeting include Peter Zavinglis and Linda Galetta. Anyone speaking should state their names prior to speaking each time. The panelists in this webinar meeting will be the commission members and the building staff. Panelists who would like to comment on an item should indicate such by using the icon to raise hand at the bottom of the screen. After a panelist raises their hand, they will be able to comment one at a time when called upon by the chairperson. Panelists should mute their microphones until called upon. Panelists calling into the meeting by telephone may raise or lower their hands by pressing *9. To mute or unmute your call, press *6. To make a motion or second a motion, commission members can raise a hand to be acknowledged by the host or chair. To vote on a motion, commission members will be called upon individually by the chair to vote. The public can participate in the meeting during the public communications agenda item. The public will be asked to raise their hand during public communications if they want to speak at this time by using the icon to raise hand at the bottom of the screen. The public will be called upon by the host one at a time and will be able to speak during this time. Attendees must identify themselves before speaking. It's all yours, Todd.
Okay, so I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7:04 on April 20th. Yes, it is the 20th. And I'm going to go ahead and read the call, the public notice of the hearing. Dear Matt, please publish the following public notice for one insertion on Monday, April 12, 2021. Town of Groton notice of public hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, April 20, 2021 at 7 p.m. virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HDC 21-12, 15 Library Street, Peter Hurd, owner applicant, siding, trim, and HVAC system. PIN number 2619183015338. HDC 21-13, 1 Pearl Street, Rabicam LLC, owner, Leo Roach, applicant, driveway configuration and exterior remodel. PIN number 2619183170081. HDC 21-14, 20 Pearl Street, John McCarrick, owner applicant, addition, renovations, and HVAC system. PIN number 2619184105582. HDC 21-15, 2 Prospect Street, Stephen Casella, owner applicant, exterior renovations and deck. PIN number 26191710529. HDC 21-16, 9 Water Street, Mystic Art Association, Inc., owner applicant, HVAC system. PIN number 2619183083114E. HDC 21-17, 17 Gravel Street, Mary Martin, owner, Daniel Grace, applicant, exterior renovations and fence. PIN number 2619184111577. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meetings calendar or can be attended by visiting www.zoom.us. Webinar ID 894-552-9181, password 988863, or by phone 1312-626-6799. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the Planning Department. 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, dated this 9th day of April 2021 at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary. Okay, is Bill Ferguson is still not here, right? So if Bill shows up, we'll seat him in place of Eric Coleman. Okay, we'll open the public hearing now for HDC 21-12, 15 Library Street, Peter Hurd, owner applicant, siding, trim, and HVAC system. PIN number 2619183015338. Peter?
Sure. Hi, thank you very much. Peter Hurd, 15 Library Street in Mystic. Is there a screen share that's going to come up?
Are you there, Peter?
I am here.
Because I see your screen is showing here. But
I'm here.
Okay.
She means Peter Zavingas.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry. I mean, Peter Zemeckis.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, more Peters. That's right.
Are you seeing this 15 Library Street right now?
I'm
We're
Yes.
seeing.
seeing a painting.
I'm seeing,
I'm
yes, I'm
seeing,
kind of.
there you go.
Well, that's better.
No, hang on a second. What the hell?
Yeah, we have 3 Peters here tonight.
That's unusual.
How's that?
There you go.
That's
There we
better.
go.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, again, Peter Hurd, 15 Library Street in Mystic. What we're looking for this call tonight is a couple things. One, the replacement of the majority of the clapboard fascias, rakes, and trim. This is kind of following up on our application of a few weeks ago with the roofing. And then the second item is the placement of an outdoor condenser for a central air conditioning system. So you see the maps there. And that's the description of the project. And the goal here is to, everything will be in white, and the absolute goal here is to be as close and true to the original look and feel of the house as it is right now. And like we did with the roofing, what I'd like to do is just kind of go around the 4 sides of the house and explain what we're asking approval of. Thank you. The condition, we weren't originally planning on doing this, but as we got into the project, there's a fair amount of rot of the fascias, the soffits, most of the board, corner boards, and so forth. You see in the center up picture there, one of the returns is actually detached from the house and rotted underneath. So we just decided at this point that it made sense to go for a replacement. And I think the next slide has a couple more pictures of the current condition. The reveal of the clapboard right now is 4 inches. We would be looking to have that same look and feel of 4 inches. So the library side of the street, this is the current view. Again, looking for new rakes, fascias, the returns to match original. The upper attic window, we are leaving the same there, so we'll just paint that to match. And then the bay windows in front, you see the cornices there, those are in good shape. The soffit there is in good shape. So the plan there is to leave those undisturbed. When we do replace the windows in front, we would be suggesting replacing the trim around the windows on the outside. Next slide, please. This is the side facing downtown, or the east side. Again, vast majority of that looking to replace. What we are not looking to disturb is most of the porch. The posts are good. Some of the trim's good, some of the trim is rotted, but whatever we can leave, we will leave and paint to match. This is the side facing Route 1. And again, just like the east side, we would be looking to replace most there, but the 2 porches, particularly the little one on the right, it looks like we can probably just get away with the fascia and the soffit. The details of the posts and the railing and all that are pretty good. So we think we can just paint those and leave those undisturbed. And then finally was able to sneak on the neighbor's property and get a proper full picture of the west side. So almost everything there we are looking to replace as we clear off the roof. And you'll recall we're putting a standing steel seam roof on that little addition off the back. The materials that recommended are being used are the hardy smooth finish siding, again 4-inch reveal, Arctic white is color, and John Henderson and David Rosetta will be the contractors for installing. They're very experienced with this, they tell me, and this is their recommendation.
Peter, correct me if I'm wrong. We previously approved your windows replacement, right?
Yes, you've approved the windows, and by the way, they came in this week, so they'll be going in. And you also approved the roofing. So
right, okay.
Yeah, this is kind of a give a moose a muffin project here. And I think that's it for the siding. The trim that we've chosen, again, recommended by John and David and Riverhead. I think, Peter, is the next slide, and it's the Versatech system. I was not familiar with it, but they tell me it's, you know, like kind and quality to others out there. The reason they liked it, well, number one, they carry it, but number two, there's a lot of moldings, stock moldings that will match very nicely with what is there without doing, you know, extra millwork. And I think the next couple of slides show the Versatech. You guys are probably all familiar with this. This is new to me. That's a description of all the moldings. And I think that's it. Somehow these slides snuck in, but they're not really pertinent to today's conversation unless you guys thought they were, but that's the roofing materials that we already discussed and approved. And that's it for the siding. The second part of the project, we're putting in a central air conditioning system. And a couple of options were to put the outside condenser, but we thought this one here on the east side facing downtown was probably the best, hidden from the street. You know, there's no real direct sight line. What I would plan to do, as you see in the picture, is put some foundation plantings in there to hide that. So we'll get that in and then, you know, then plant. The other idea was to put it over here in the corner by these trash cans facing Library Street, but it's a pretty crowded corner. There's electrical there. There's the oil filter for the oil tank and the trash cans and all that. And it's a dark kind of damp area. We just thought that the front was a better location for this.
So that is the side you intend to put it on?
Right there is the side I intend to put it in, yes.
Okay.
And all one thing I want to emphasize too, all plumbing will be inside. There will be no pipes going up the house to the outside. Everything is going to be run inside. The house is totally gutted, so we're able to run stuff anywhere we need to at this point. And that's it, unless you have any questions.
Does anyone have any questions or comments on the commission?
Looks good to me.
Okay, would anyone in the audience like to speak in favor of this application? Would anyone like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, HDC 21-12 is closed. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you.
HDC 21-13, 1 Pearl Street, Ravacam LLC owner.
Okay, good evening, board members. My name is John Patrick Walsh. I am the architect representing this project this evening. I'm registered in Rhode Island, Connecticut. My office is at 9 Canal Street in Westerly. And what we're proposing is some minor modifications to the property at 1 Pearl Street. And if you go up to the next slide, Peter. Okay. Come down one, please. Okay, thank you. This is the project site. Currently, it's a 2-family house on that site with a driveway to the north side and then parking behind it. It's a double deep lot. So can you go to the next slide, Peter? Okay. There you get a better idea with the parking to the back. Okay. And the goal of the owner here is to basically bring in, make this public parking. So what we need to do is, excuse me, Peter, could you do me a favor? Somehow this got out of order. Can you go to like slide, oh, sorry. I want to go to the end where the site plans are. They're going to be the last ones. I think there's slides 57, 58, 59. Sorry, folks. Okay, here's the 57 is fine, Peter. Just back. Yep, right there. Okay. This is the existing site plan, Pearl Street. You can see the house, the footprint, the driveway on the north side coming in. There's a landing and concrete stairs on that north side. And then there's that little L that kicks out off the northwesterly corner of the building. That leads back into a parking area. And then there's further parking even back beyond that, that first parking area. Can you go to the next slide, Pete? Okay. This is the proposed plan, is to basically come in on the north side of the house with a 12-foot driveway, and you enter along the north side of the house, and then we will end up with 27 parking spaces back there. And we need to get a driveway on the south side to exit. It has to be one-way flow. And I believe the civil engineer is working with the town on this, and so far everything seems to be going well. But in order to get that driveway in on the north side, we have to cut that L back about 4 feet 8 inches, and we got to remove the landing and stairs that are over there. And then on the south side of the property, we have to reconfigure the entry to that existing porch, and there's a little retaining wall out by the street with steps that go down to the sidewalk. So in essence, that's what's driving the changes to the house, is to gain the access for the driveways around for the parking area in the back. If you go to the next slide, Peter. These are just some general details that the civil engineer has provided. I just wanted you to see there will be 2 light poles, one kind of off the back of the house, and then one to the back side of the parking lot. And that's the style that they're proposing, and downlight type light. And then we will have a couple of bollards to protect the building. They're shown over on the left-hand side of that drawing next to the tree. And then there will be additional plantings, and the drainage will be improved, curbing, etc. So
What's going to happen to the house?
That's what we're going to go to now. So, I just wanted you to see this so that you knew kind of what was driving this change. If you could go back, Peter, to say slide 36. Okay, here's the front of the existing house. On the right-hand side, you can see the stairs with the iron railing or aluminum railing and the door and the little L coming off. If you can go to the next slide, Peter. Okay, that's another view kind of that entry. Those stairs and that landing and that door will all be removed. Okay, that's all going to be taken off. Next slide. And then the proposal is to actually cut the face of that that L back about where that yellow dash line is. Okay. We're going to match the same detail on the rakes and the overhangs and the brackets and all that. So we're just going to step it back. We're stepping it about, like I said, about 4 foot 8 inches. Again, that's just a typical detail. We'll either replicate that, or if we can repurpose, the brackets or whatever, we will. They'll all be in wood. And this is looking at it from the back side. And there's a entry door right now into the kitchen. That entry door is going to slide over to about where that small double hung window is. And it's going to line up directly below the window above. You'll also notice on that lower shed roof, right below the upper awning windows, there's a skylight there. We're going to remove that skylight and just fill it in and refit.
Maybe you think about it that way, it makes your own view.
Somebody
For
have a
this
question?
proposal, I would support the motion just because of that general waiver.
Peter,
The review deemed appropriate for an application received by the commission is within the sole.
They've got to mute themselves. Let me see.
Peter Springsteel.
We have the discretion to say, yeah, we
Yes.
asked for those things, but in case.
Is that-
Maybe we don't need,
Maybe that's not you. Someone's talking. No, it's gone.
Okay. Okay,
Sorry, John.
that's no problem. Hello.
The chairwoman has returned.
She
Ah,
has-
Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
you're doing a great job, Todd.
Oh, thank you.
We can go to the next slide. Again, that's about where we're going to be, taking that L off on that point. Next slide. Now, and this is the south side, and we can go to the next picture. It's better. Okay. This step here, this stone step, is going to have to be relocated to the west side of that porch. Right now, if that step stays there and we bring the driveway out on this side, people will be stepping off right into the driveway. So the proposal is to bring it to the west side of the porch, infill the existing railing system to match, and basically leave the porch as it is, just restore it. And then this is the little retaining wall that comes out off the front on the south side of the building. This is going to be removed and the driveway will be coming out just about where those stairs are. So one of the things I'd like to do is, if we can reuse those granite stairs, reuse them on the west side of the existing porch, and just have the granite steps. If not, then I would propose that we just rebuild them in a wood stair.
Well, John, unless you're going to come back, you sort of are going to have to tell us which of the alternatives you're going to choose to do.
I'm gonna go with the granite.
Okay, thank you.
Now, is the idea that somebody's going to live in this house after you're through all this?
Yeah, it's a two-family house. So,
Okay,
right. Next slide, Peter. Oh, you can go past that. We'll go back to it. It's out of order. Okay. We can rotate that. Okay. You skip down to the first drawing, Peter. Right. So that's the existing conditions of the first floor plan, and the shaded area at the top with the dash line. That's pretty much where our impact is, where we're removing the landing, the stairs, and part of the kitchen. On the lower side, the south side, you can see where I've done the same thing, just showing you where the stair will be removed and the new stair will be put in off that porch. Again, on the second floor really doesn't change. The exterior walls don't change. That roof overhang just comes back about 4 feet 8 inches. The one outside the bathroom sinks. You skip that, Pete. Okay. So there's the impact, looking at the existing of what we're impacting on the north side and the areas that we're impacting on the south side. And again, this is the front and the rear of the building, the east and the west side, west at the top, the impact of the door and that overhang, and then the porch on the south side, same thing on the bottom. This is the proposed layout of what that modification will look like. It shows the door relocated. The wall for the kitchen is stepped back. We actually flipped the kitchen to make it work. And we've removed the stairs and the landing. Stairs and landing are where that the thinner dotted line is, dash line. And then on the lower section, you can see where we're proposing to put in the new stairs and fix the railing and the driveway coming around to the south. Again, upstairs stays the same. We're just pulling that overhang back to follow in line with what's going down below. You can go past that view. Okay. That's the new north elevation without the landing and without the skylight. The little windows are the windows above the kitchen sink. The south elevation is below. It shows the stairs, the new stairs, and the infill of the railing system. And then this is looking at the west elevation from the rear. And you can see where I left the dashed line showing where the existing is and how we're pulling that back for the proposed on both of those. Okay. I think that does it. As far as the materials go, we're just matching what's there and reusing whatever we can. If we can reuse the brackets or reuse any of the rake boards or that, we will. If not, we will just replicate them in wood. It'll all be painted. It's going to still be the clapboard that exists. Shingles, roof shingles will match the existing. Skylight's gone. The windows will just be an Anderson MDL or SDL with white with paint with casings to match the existing. I think I'm pretty much done.
Is that it, John?
Yeah.
Okay, and does anyone have any comments or questions of the applicant?
No,
Hello?
No, nothing? Okay. Does anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor of this application? Does anyone wish to speak in opposition? Okay, HDC 21-13 is closed. And Sarah, you can take over at this point if you want to.
Okay.
And is Bill Ferguson here? He said he was coming to the meeting. He sent me a text, but I don't see him. I scrolled down and I didn't see him, so I guess he's not.
I didn't see him earlier, but I do believe I see him now.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so Sarah, you could go ahead and seat Bill for Eric.
All right, I will seat Bill Ferguson for Eric Goodman. And we'll also note that I am now present. All right, so next, Todd, we're on HGC 21-14. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
I will call HGC 21-14, 20 Pearl Street, John McCarrick.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
I'm John McCarrick, owner of 20 Pearl Street, and our plan is to add a small addition to the south side of the house, put an HVAC system in, new windows, paint the exterior and repair the clapboard where it's going to be necessary to be repaired or replaced. If we go through this proposal, I guess the first slide I come up with is just the outline of 20 Pearl Street. And you see that our north side of the house is almost on the property line. So we don't have many choices to add the HVAC system. It has to go on that south side. And I had Dinsmore. Go ahead.
where's your house?
20 Pearl Street.
Oh, okay, all right, I got it.
20. Yeah, it's on the left mid part of that.
Yeah.
Yes, map. So Densmore came out, they had a couple proposals. They thought because we're so close to the property line on the north side that everything would have to be on the outside, the condenser. And I did show, this is similar to the condenser that would be placed. And it would have those access, that tubing going up the side of the house, just vertically, right near the condenser. And I have that in drawings later on the south side of the house where that unit is, and also on the north side of the house. But that would be invisible from the road because it's really hidden by a chimney that comes up that side of the house. I've heard that there are no problems with paint colors, but those are colors we're considering right now with white trim.
Yeah, we have no jurisdiction over that, John.
Okay. This goes more to, this is the existing square footage of the house. And we're trying to add an extension right in the middle of the house of 4 feet by 10, right in that little alcove next to the 308 area. On this land plot, I have it actually, it doesn't show up as orange, but that little square is what the extension would be.
Peter, can you blow up the, there, that's better. Thank you.
So really, we're connecting that outside L all the way over to the front part of the house. So if you go down to, that's the existing, you'll have to indulge my drawings, but this is the existing side of the house. And really, it will be, the addition will be where those middle windows are on the first floor and second floor. And even with the addition added in, if you go down one more, the view from that side of the house will be really the same. We just have to extend the roof out those 4 feet. And this is where Densmore has proposed putting the Mitsubishi condenser outside, and you would have that white pipe going up to internal units inside on the first floor and second floor there. That's the existing floor plan on the ground floor, and that's where the proposed addition is. If you go down one more, just that 4 by 10 area. And I think that's the addition, current second floor. And then that I'm planning to have the addition in the same area, that 4 by 10 area, extend up to the second floor. So really, the front of the house, it should really not, I don't think you'd be able to see the addition in back. That Mitsubishi unit, should be hidden pretty much by shrubs that are existing on that side of the house right now.
Are there photos of the house in the application, like actual photographs?
I did, I think they're coming up later.
Okay.
It's the brown house. It's the old rectory across from the church.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. There it is.
All right, thank you.
So that Mitsubishi unit would be behind that shrub to the right, really. That's where the driveway is.
Okay. And the addition is,
Addition, if you go down, let's see. I sent it would actually, I don't see it showing up here. I guess that my photo didn't make it through, but it would be almost opposite that, near that stump that's in the back of the house right now.
can
It's
you
in that alley.
see, can you see the addition from any public way?
No,
Okay.
no, it's still about at least 5 feet in from that corner of the house there.
Okay, so if I'm looking at your GIS map, which is one of the very first pieces. Oh, you went a little too far, Peter. So Peter, can you just move the arrow over which I think is in that little L piece right there, that addition's going? Like, is it going right there?
Yes,
Eric? Okay.
right there. Yeah,
Okay.
and it does not come all the way across. It only comes about half that distance out.
Okay.
I tried to show that on that square footage plot. I think the one above that, yeah, right there.
Okay.
That's the small addition right there. So we can't see it from the front.
Can't really see it from anywhere. Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is my first presentation to you folks. So if you go back down to my drawings, the only thing from the north side of the house that you would see going up is the line covering for the Mitsubishi unit. And that from the front of the house, which is on the right, it would be really hidden by the chimney that's going up on that side. And the windows need to be replaced because of really some deterioration. Half of them you can't open, none of them lock. And to keep with the character of the house, these Marvin windows seem to be the best product to match what's in there right now. It would have the same character as the current windows that are there.
Are you replacing all the windows?
Yes. I tried to send over a link to the product. I thought that's how you'd see it, but that didn't go through. But they're a wood pane, interior and exterior.
And all windows are the same as the existing with the 6/6 pattern, or that bigger one,
Yes, except for that front
that
picture.
big front one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, did we capture everything here, Mr. McCarrick? Just making
Believe
sure. Okay. Does anyone have any additional questions for the applicant?
It looks fine to me.
All right. Do you have anything that you want to add, Mr. McCarrick?
What is the next step to get this off the ground? This
So what happens is you've given us your presentation tonight.
Okay.
And then we have 3 more presentations after yours, and then we'll close the public hearing. And then after the public hearing, we'll vote, which you're certainly more than welcome to stay on and watch our vote. And then the result of our vote will be mailed to you. So if you're granted a certificate of appropriateness, you'll be mailed the certificate of appropriateness, and then you can apply for what you need to in the building department.
All right, very good. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Would anyone in the audience like to speak for this application? Would anyone in the audience like to speak against this application? HDC 21-14 is closed. So I'll now call HDC 21-15 to Prospect Street, Stephen Casella. Mr. Casella?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you. You can make your presentation.
Yeah, we're waiting for Wayne, our architect.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay. Is he on shortly, or do you want us to wait, or do you want us to come back to you?
Yeah, let me try to get a hold of him because he said he was on, but he wasn't being recognized.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, come back to us. Let me try to get a hold of him.
He's showing he's there.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. This is Wayne Garrick.
Hi,
All right,
Wayne.
go ahead, Wayne.
Hi there. How are you this evening?
We're good, thank you. So the floor is yours.
Well, my name is Wayne Garrick. I'm a registered architect. I've been an architect for 46 years, but my earlier experience included actually working for the Department of Interior when I was in architectural school for the Historic American Building Survey, measuring and drawing detailed ink on mylar drawings for the Library of Congress, just to date myself slightly. I have been involved with several strict historic restorations, such as the Tapping Reed Law School in Litchfield, the Pinto House in New Haven, and several others. I've also been involved with, obviously, semi-historic restorations and renovations through my career. This project is a relatively simple project. As we mentioned in our narrative, this is an existing barn that has been on this property. And through the years, according to records and the owner's description, it served as 2 apartments for this address. And at some point in time, the apartments were no longer used. But at this juncture, the owner would like to recreate those apartments. The building is in fairly decent condition, though through the years, people have substituted windows, changed windows, used inappropriate windows. Some of the siding is not correct. Some of the details, obviously. Some of the post and beam construction exists on the interior, but much of it has been replaced by conventional framing. Our proposal is to create the two one-bedroom apartments once again and restore in a renovation type vein the exterior with restoring the existing details on the two gable ends, which would be the north and south gable ends, as well as the east and west side. We've also introduced new fenestration. They would be 6/6 windows with divided lights. And the siding would be vertical barn siding, and the roof would be an architectural shingle. It's a fairly simple, straightforward, actually, renovation. Not proposing to change anything about the footprint other than the small deck to the south. There is an existing stair to the second floor, which served the second floor apartment at one time on the western side, but it's very close to the property line. We felt for safety purposes, as well as aesthetic purposes, it would be best to eliminate that stair and introduce the deck and the stair going on the south side away from the adjacent neighbor as it now stands. Other than that, I think the proposed, I'm sure you have the drawings available there. This plan indicates what's existing. I just actually drew, there are some interior partitions and things, but I just drew the interior, the perimeter of the building and noted the existing structure. This is a typical section through the existing structure there. I think if we scroll down slightly, this is the typical plan. It's the same for the first floor and the second floor, other than the deck to the south. The plans consist of once one enters a common room with a kitchen and common room or entertainment area, great room area being one large space. Then to the north, there's a full bath and a bedroom. One thing to note here on the north elevation, I'm glad this came up next. You can see we've proposed to echo what would be typical barn siding for this era here, with sort of the crescent going along the bottom of the gable end, and then the second floor siding overlapping the first floor siding. You'll note that there are 4 windows on this side, but in the plan, you won't see any windows. The windows are there for aesthetic purposes for the gable end, but they will be blacked out from the interior because of its relationship to the main house on the site. But rather than simply have a blank elevation there, we've introduced these 4 windows, as well as the window on the gable end. The south elevation just illustrates the entrance to the units, the new fenestration, as well as the deck. As I mentioned in the narrative, the deck might be the AZAC Premier series for the railings and balusters, and the AZAC or TimberTech vintage decking for the deck itself. This provides a covered entry to the lower unit as well. East and west, very simple elevations of probably, well, as a barn, it probably didn't have these windows, but we're introducing them. And again, echoing the siding, overlapping each other, as well as the exposed rafter tails up above. The west elevation is very similar to the east elevation. There are really no changes other than one less window on the west elevation on top and bottom. That's just the site plan there. The building itself, from a zoning perspective, is existing non-conforming. We're actually, not that this is perhaps your department, but we are actually reducing that non-conformity by removing the stair to the west and introducing the stair to the south, which is now conforming. From a zoning
Peter,
perspective.
can you blow up the site plan? Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay. It's not a very large project, by the way. Each floor is 594 square feet. The deck is approximately 9 by 14. That's including the stair. That's 126 square feet.
Do you have any photographs of that
There,
structure?
I believe photographs were emailed in. Yes. Hopefully they're on here. Yes, I don't see any photographs, but they were emailed in yesterday morning.
Is there a GIS map in here somewhere?
I don't believe so. No. My understanding was this was a preliminary meeting.
Oh, so you're actually on our agenda. This isn't a prelim.
Oh, okay. That's
we-
okay. I mean, you're welcome to consider
Well,
this, but
and it's
some
not
information may not be here that you normally require.
right. That's what I was going to say is, as a whole, I mean, it looks like a fine project, nothing that I would, well, I can't speak for anybody else, but nothing that I would object to, but we are missing a little bit of information to actually make a vote on it.
Okay.
So, perhaps since we're in the thick of it now, we could tell you what's missing and give you feedback and then continue you to the next hearing and you can
Yep.
provide the additional data that's missing. Does that
Mhm.
sound
That would
like a
be
fair
fine.
approach?
Yeah, I know we sent in photos yesterday, but I guess one of your items would be the photographs.
Right. Do any of my other commission members object to moving forward in this fashion?
It sounds good. I think we need the GIS map too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I think, yeah, and we obviously gonna need some more detail, Wayne, like, the delineation of the windows that are being replaced, such as they are. And as I said, photographs of the structure, because the only difficulty here is your sketches look fine, but we don't really know what's there now.
Oh,
Right.
I mean, you would like photographs or
Yeah,
drawings of the existing building?
Photographs are sufficient.
Okay, but
photographs
in
are-
terms of
photographs are-
detail, do you mean like what the siding will be, the windows? Okay,
Yeah, we need detail on exactly what siding you're gonna use, what windows you're gonna use, the specs on the windows, basically so that if and when the work is done, we can see that it conformed with what you said you're gonna do. And
That's, very easy to do. Thank you.
yeah,
All the materials.
Right.
So this is just for the back structure, not the main house.
Correct.
Okay. It looks like the main house is only a 2-bedroom house or something like that.
The main house is essentially sort of a mid-century ranch, actually.
Yeah, okay.
well, yeah, I called it up on Google and that's what I saw, so I was kind of surprised.
Right, yeah. I guess the barn, I don't know the real history of it, but it was either maybe an older home on the site at one time and demolished, or perhaps this barn belonged in this property to a larger parcel, and the
Yes.
barn belonged to that parcel. Perhaps Steve Casella knows more about it than I do.
Yeah, hold on 2 seconds. Who had the barn? Huh?
Someone's fish.
Yeah, the barn, for what we could find out when we started to look back and try to do a little investigating on it, apparently it was a barn that was owned by the Fish family, Fish brothers. I think it was the carriage house to one of the large homes, probably across the street on Prospect.
Hmm.
But it was hard to find out.
That's my guess. I would imagine that it would be something like that.
Simon G. Fish.
Oh, Simon G. Fish is what we
At
found
least
out.
that's what someone got it.
Yeah. That's all we could really find out.
Yeah, that's fine. So, and the other thing, Wayne, is the interiors are, we don't really look at the interiors, or we don't have to make any decisions. So you're free to do what you want on the inside.
Mhm.
We're really only concerned with the exterior presentation of the structure.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like with the exterior, you're just adding the deck and the stairs,
Correct.
changing the siding and adding the windows.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right, so I would just really focus in on those details.
Happy to do. I'll put together all those materials for you. You have nothing to worry about.
All right.
When is your next meeting so that we can get them to you in time?
So we'll continue you to our next meeting, which will be
May 3rd, May
thank
4th,
you.
May 4th? That's a Tuesday. Yeah.
May 4th. Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
But I think, Wayne, you have to get all your information in quite a bit in advance of that.
Okay.
Because it's all gotta get, scanned in and posted to the public. So the photos you sent in yesterday never would have gotten into today's presentation.
I see. Okay. Like I said, we thought this was a preliminary review, and then we would come back to you. So it's not a problem.
So I will, I'm sorry, Wayne, unless you have anything else you want to add, or any commission member has any additional comments.
I'm good.
You think we need a motion, Sarah, now to continue it, or?
Oddly enough, we usually do it now, but we can wait till consideration. For some reason, our practice has been to make the motion in the public hearing.
May I just ask one quick question, please?
Sure.
Would by April 24th be okay for your receipt of the photos and the materials and the map?
Is that this Friday?
April 24th?
April 24th, this Saturday. I
It
would
won't be open.
look to Linda.
I need to know how many days in advance. My apologies, because I don't think I can get it to you by April 24th, but we may need to continue this to the following meeting. I'll have to consult with Steve Casella.
What are suggestions? Contact Tom Giannini. Exactly who you want to have on.
Peter, you're all garbled.
Tom Giannini, you want to contact him tomorrow?
So Wayne, what Peter's saying, it's hard to hear him,
Right.
is that you should reach out to Tom Zannarini tomorrow at the town.
Okay.
And ask him to what time frame you need to adhere to get your materials in.
Okay, great. So in that case, let's continue, if you don't mind, to May 4th. And I'll speak with Tom tomorrow.
And if you aren't ready by May 4th, we'll just continue you again.
Okay. I should, if I have till one day next week, that should work out well.
Okay. So where was I? Is this HDC 21-? It's 21-15. Okay, so I
15.
move to continue HDC 21-15.
Second.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll do a quick roll call. All in favor, Moriarty, aye. Ferguson,
Aye.
Levinson,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Nault.
Aye.
The application is continued. All right, HDC 21-16-9 Water Street. This is the Mystic Art Association application.
Hello, guys. My name is Rodolfo Reyes. I'm the facility manager of the Mystic Museum of Art. This is a request for your guys' approval to simply put in another hyper unit HVAC system that will be installed by Dunkley in the archives on the north side of the building. And what's there now is a bush, the old PTAC unit stuck out of the wall, and what I've done is taken it out and just used the grill that was originally there. Finding clapboards is something I'll do later down the road to restore the original look of the side of where the cut was made. And what will be visible to the public will be basically a gutter to cover the cables like that. That's exactly what it will look like on the other side. And I'm sorry about where I'm calling you guys from, because I'm actually at another job on my break, so I'm sorry. I'm calling from a car.
That's allowed.
We'll let it slide, Rodolfo.
I'm over here pushing the light to turn back on and off.
So with the drawing that we're on right now, that single line up is going to be that.
That's exactly where the gutter will be coming down. And just for FYI for you guys, I'm training that bush to grow up, so eventually you won't see any of the cables behind there.
Okay. And that's all the specs on the unit?
Yep. And the connection will be made by East Coast Electrical, as we did last time.
Okay.
On the south side of the building.
All right. This one's pretty straightforward. Do any of the commission members have any comments or questions for the applicant?
No, I think this is basically the same thing that was done on the other side of the building.
Right.
Yeah.
In the past year.
Yes, sir.
Rodolfo, anything else to add?
I wish I had a cooler presentation like the rest of the gentlemen, but I don't.
HVAC's kind of boring. All right. Well, if no one has anything else, I will ask if anyone in the audience like to speak for this application. Would anyone in the audience like to speak against this application? HDC 21-16 is closed.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, HDC 21-17 Gravel Street, Daniel Grace applicant. I don't see anyone in the audience unless I'm missing them. Is anyone here for 17 Gravel Street?
I'm raising a hand.
Say that again, Peter.
But I don't see anyone raising a hand.
Okay. Oh, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear you before. All right. And Linda, no, they didn't tell you they weren't going to be here tonight?
I actually had a conversation with him. He had some questions about his exhibits and his application, but he didn't indicate he wouldn't be here.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess what we can do is, continue him. And if he shows up later, we can reopen public hearings unless someone objects to that.
Sarah, I have a question.
Who's asking? I'm sorry.
It's Bonnie.
Oh,
No,
hi, Bonnie. Sorry.
that's okay. Do they have to present it or can we just review it?
Well, we have reviewed it in the past, but those were for really minor changes.
Okay.
I guess we could take a look at the application. I guess my concern would be if we reviewed it, did
And
it
we
without them, and
missed
then we
something.
denied it, and we didn't give them the opportunity to make their
Okay.
presentation, I'd
Okay.
be worried.
Yeah, fair enough. I just wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if we had ever.
There've been a couple in the past, and I think that those were perhaps continued hearings where they may have
Just
didn't
something
have their
simple.
exhibits,
Yeah.
or it was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
one
Okay.
window.
Okay.
But yes, it's something that we could do.
Okay, I move we continue HDC 21-17.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor, I'll do roll. Ferguson,
Aye.
Moriarty, aye. Levinson,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
no.
Aye.
Okay, this application is continued unless he shows up later in our hearing. So I will move to consideration of public hearings. And the first one we are considering is HTC 21-15, 15 Library Street, Peter Hurd, owner applicant, siding and trim and HVAC system. I was not here for this presentation. I was here, I believe, for the prelim. So I will let the commission members make comments or motions as they see fit for this particular one.
I'll make a motion to approve it. It looked like once again, a very thorough presentation.
I'll second that.
Any comments?
No, I think that Peter Hurd makes great presentations, but
It's because he's here so much.
I hope he's done with us now. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just
He's
kidding.
here a lot.
I'll when we get to the driveway and whatever we're gonna do with that silly concrete wall, I'll be back. But this is probably it for a little.
Well, that's good.
while.
Actually, I look forward to the concrete wall presentation.
Oh boy, I don't know. I'll take any and all ideas. It's not our wall, so I got to talk to the owner about it too.
Right.
All right, well, if no one has any other comments, I will do a roll. Bill, were you here?
I missed that one, but I
Okay.
was here for the other one.
All right, so Moriarty abstain, Ferguson,
Abstain.
Levinson,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Null.
Aye.
The application is approved. All
Thank
right,
you, everyone.
thank you.
Thank you.
So our next one is HDC 21-13, 1 Pearl Street. This was the parking for that particular lot. On this one, not only was I here, I'm also going to recuse myself. So I'll ask the commission if they have any comments or motions.
I think this is a pretty fascinating proposal, and I make a motion to grant a certificate of appropriateness.
I'll second it.
Any comments?
I don't know if I'd want to live in the house as part of a parking lot, but that's not my problem.
Bill, were you here for this one? I wasn't sure.
I was not, but my question, my only question, I guess maybe it's not appropriate to ask, was Eric's thing about the driveway, was that this?
They're still working with the town. That's really a zoning issue, not an
okay.
HDC issue. So
Okay.
he did say the engineers were working with the town.
Okay, that was my only question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still abstain, but I just was curious.
All right, so I'll do a roll. I'm recused. Ferguson,
Abstain.
Levinson,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Null.
Aye.
The application is approved. All right, HDC 21-14, 20 Pearl Street, John McCarrick, owner applicant. This was the addition and renovation. It was the HVAC and the addition on the back and replacement of windows throughout the house. Any comments or motions?
I'll
I
make a
move to,
motion. Oh, go ahead, Don.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second it.
My only comment is I believe that after looking through the application, that the addition is not in a public way. I don't think, I would have approved it regardless. I just want to put that out there that I don't think that you can see it from any particular location. So roll call, Ferguson,
Aye.
Moriarty, aye. Levinson,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Nault.
Aye.
The application is approved. All right, HDC 21-15, we continued. And HDC 21-19, 9 Water Street, Mystic Art Association. This was the addition of the HVAC Any comments or motions?
I'll make
I
a
make a-
motion to approve it.
I second.
Any comments? I guess my only comment is we've already approved the exact same thing for this particular location.
Right.
So I'll do a roll. Ferguson,
Aye.
Moriarty, aye. Levinson,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Nault.
Aye.
The application is approved. And then we have HTC 21-17. We continued this one. I'll just look to the audience to see if Mr. Grace is here, which I do not see anybody with that title. So that being said, unless anyone has anything to say, we'll move into the pre-application hearings. And
My question is, will someone from the office reach out to Mr. Grace and let him know that he missed or she?
I'm not sure how it works practically, but I'm certain that either he will get in touch with Linda or Tom Zanarini, or they'll get in touch with him.
Okay.
We send out a letter and we let them know it's been continued and when the next meeting is going to happen.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. So I'm just going to kind of go down my little window here of people who I see. And as I go down, I see P. Hurd. I'm just guessing he doesn't have a pre-app because of what we just heard. Mr. McCarrick, I'm guessing you don't have another pre-app. Brings me to Mary Bravecchio. Maybe.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you. So you're in the pre-application. You're up.
No, I was listening in relation to, I'm a member and also manager of Rabicam LLC.
Oh, okay.
I was very interested in the presentation and I thought he did an excellent job. I commend them for having the ingenuity of how they are going to approach the problem.
All right, very good. Well, thank you. Anna, thank you. Anna Troiano.
Hi, this is Peter Springsteel. I'm actually representing Anna.
Okay, hi, Peter. How are you today?
Hi, good.
All right, it's all yours.
Okay, again, Peter Springsteel, architect. I'm here representing Anna Troiano, who owns property at 148 High Street. I was going to share the screen if you release me. Here we go. So this is the Google Street View of 148 High Street. You may recognize the house. It's been around for a long time and fairly prominent as you come up the hill from Baptist Church down here on the right side. This is a fairly big lot. I guess we could call it a double lot. And so there's a sort of a vacant area right here that goes back to the cliff that drops down to Bank Street. And what Anna would like to do is build an accessory building way in the back here. You can see there's a flagpole here, so it would be behind that flagpole about 15 to 20 feet. And so I'm going to now share the drawings with you. So you should be able to see my screen here. This is a front elevation of the building that we're proposing. Take it to the site plan first. This is the site plan. This is High Street right here. And the corner of Borough Street right here. The existing house sits up near the street to the left side of the property, which is what you saw in the street view there. And then this is sort of the vacant lot area back through here. And we're proposing to put this outbuilding here, but actually we're going to move it back a little further even, so it's less prominent on the street scape. And, we want it to read as an accessory building. So we think the further back we put it, the more that it'll read that way. And you'll also note that the grade starts higher up here at the street and starts to slope downhill as we go to the back of the lot. And then there's a cliff right here that drops down the Bank Street. But we're going to set that house far enough back so it sits pretty low into the rear of the lot.
Well,
So
Peter, what's the elevation change from the front to the rear there?
I think these are 2-foot intervals. So, you're 2, 4, 6,
Okay.
8. So it's maybe 8 feet to the very back.
Okay.
And the house might be down 4 feet from that grade there to the floor. So this is going to look like a little English cottage sort of a thing. This is the front view that you'll see from High Street. I don't think you really see the 2 other side facades from anywhere. But I think the back you might see from downtown because we have a fantastic view of Mystic Village below us. It looks like a little train set village when you're up there looking down at the town. Pretty neat. But this will be the prominent facade that you see. And so we've got a stone facade, double hung windows and simulated divided lights. Got a pergola coming off the front. And then we have a stone feature wall that sort of grows out of the wall of the building. It's got an arch in it that you walk through to get to the door of the building. If you look at this in 3D, you can get a better sense of that. So that wall kind of free floats out from the facade of the building. And you walk through there and you come to the door, which is right here. We've got some very steep roof lines on the building. Gives it sort of an English look to it. And we've clipped the gables at the cross gable in order to bring the scale of it down a little bit. And when you're in the street, you can see we've modeled the site here so you can see the grading dropping down there. So when you're in the street, you're going to see, like that probably. And you'll catch a little bit of this facade as you come up the street, High Street. And then as we go around the back of the building, there's a first floor deck, and then there's a second floor flat roof with a little deck perched up on that. And it's got the cross type railing system, a spiral stair that's embedded into the porch to keep its visual appearance down. I don't think you'll see that from anywhere, but I think you will see this railing and then this roof plane here, gable from downtown.
And you're doing the masonry facade on the entire house?
Yes, that's the intent.
Okay.
Peter, can you tell me the address again? I can't seem to.
148 High Street.
Thank you.
And this is all on one lot. This building will be accessory to the main, which sets up here. I didn't model that. And at this point in time, we're not going to do a driveway, so this little indication here of a driveway goes away. So that's what we're looking to do. So looking for your feedback and questions and comments.
Peter, it's not two lots.
No, it's not.
It's big enough. What did zoning say about it?
I haven't been to zoning, but zoning allows for accessory apartments, detached accessory apartments up to 800 square feet, I think.
And how much is this?
The first floor of this is about 800 square feet, and the second floor is really just an attic. It'd be storage. And it's cathedral space too on the second floor over the main living area. So there's really just the first floor area.
What's the purpose of the the porch off the back if nobody's up on the second floor?
Better
Well,
view.
there's a view to kill for, so you'd walk
Oh.
out, you'd walk out on this porch, go up the spiral stair and sit up here and
Okay.
sip your margaritas.
There's nowhere, you can't get to it from the second floor then?
No, because this is all cathedral ceiling up in here. There's no floor in there to access.
So you don't have the existing house in that, so you can't really see it in relationship. Maybe when you come back, that would be helpful.
Well, let me show you. We can go back to,
Just because that other house on High Street, we made them show us in relationship to the existing house too.
would you like a front elevation with the other house?
Just something that showed the scale of the two next to
Okay.
each other.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah, that would be helpful. I mean, I'm looking at the lot from on, I don't know what website I'm on. I mean, it's a really big lot. And if you look at the surrounding houses,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
it could have been 2 lots.
Yeah, but it's just helpful because of the past complications we've had to understand the size of one building in comparison to the other.
Do you want to see this house too?
Yeah,
It would really be appreciated. It's just so
Okay.
hard on Zoom, Peter, to like get an idea of what we're looking at.
I know, I understand. And I will note that the proposed house sets further back than the back of this house. So it's
That'd
pretty
be
far
great.
back, but yeah, I'll get you the elevation.
Yeah, and Peter, if you can give the relative height or elevations of the opposing buildings, that's helpful too. I mean, we
There's
know
some
that the
dimen-
height, there's some dimensions. We know that the house in the rear could be X height, but because of the drop in elevation, that in fact it won't appear to be as tall as it is in relationship to the main house.
Yeah, no problem. We can do that.
Though your photograph of the house, the front of the house on the left there, appears to have suffered some kind of photographic squeezing.
Oh, well, when you look on Google Earth, it does that, distorts stuff.
Yeah, okay.
It
So you
went
might
on
want,
a
you might want to,
diet.
yeah, you
It's
might
on
want
a
to,
diet,
you
yeah.
might want to substitute, yeah, okay, there it goes again, okay.
Yeah, well, you can see this, right?
Yeah, we can see that.
But maybe I'll just take some regular pictures.
Yeah,
Present them.
that'd be pretty innovative idea.
Come on, you guys, you got to get with the program. It's 2021 now.
Yeah, you haven't been here in about 8 months or so, so we've changed our approach now.
I see that. I see that.
It's cute.
Yeah,
It is.
All right.
Kind of a great house, great little house to live in, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, other than just trying to figure out the scale of the surrounding buildings,
Yeah.
that's really my only concern.
Just for are they gonna like rent that out, or they're gonna use that themselves from the main house, or?
Might be a little bit of both. I don't know. Probably both over time. And his plan is to stay on this property for the rest of her days, and things will change over time. She might move into that building and rent out the main house, or vice versa.
Is it going to have a separate driveway? I can't remember what that showed.
No, not at this time.
Okay.
If we ever do that, we'll come back to you because you'd have to break this wall here. But at this time, no, we want to make it kind of disappear into the background as much as possible.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
comment.
Well, just one question, Peter.
Yeah.
Have you had any discussions with that house to the right, the owners there?
I think Anna has talked to the owner of this house here, and some good, some bad. But
Okay.
I think we're within we're going to meet all the zoning requirements. Is our intent. So from a zoning standpoint, it shouldn't be an issue. They can always speak out against it here.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
All right. I think that might have been all that we had. Does anybody see any other pre-apps that I'm missing? We still have some people in the audience, but I think they've all spoken. to some fashion or another. Peter, am I missing any hand raising?
No, you are clear.
All right. So let's move into public communications. Do we have any?
No, we do not.
All right. Approval of the minutes from April 6, 2021. I move to approve.
I'll
I
second.
sec,
All right. Levinson,
Aye.
Moriarty, aye. Brady,
Aye.
Nault,
Aye.
Ferguson.
aye.
The minutes are approved. Any old business? No. Okay. New business, election of officers. So we usually put this off until we have a full board, which we definitely do not tonight. We actually usually put it off until winter of next year. However, in talking with Todd earlier, when I realized that I wasn't going to be here on time or at all this evening, I realized that Heather Giannakopoulos was our vice chair, so we don't have a vice chair anymore. So perhaps at our next meeting, we need to make an effort to do some election of officers.
Okey doke.
Sounds
So
like a
I guess
plan.
what I'm saying is I would like to put it off to the next meeting when Eric and Max are here. That's just my opinion. I mean, does anyone else have an opinion?
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay. All right, so we'll move that to the next meeting. And then I think what I'll do is send an email out prior to the meeting saying that this is the meeting, we're going to do this. So be there,
Everybody be
be
there.
advised that you missed it. And you may find yourself in an officer position if you missed it.
Right.
All right, any new business? Nope. All right, well, does anyone have anything else before I move to adjourn?
No.
All right,
No, I just have one other question. Because I still am not quite sure of exactly what the timing is for getting on the agenda for the next meeting. Do you have any more clarification on that, Sarah?
so, no, I had with the application, so as you know, I was working and assisting Leo Roche with his application. And, you know, there wasn't a lot of clarity from Tom as to what a deadline is and what isn't. So I just haven't had a chance to follow up and figure it out. It's clearly his bailiwick. Like it's, you know, he's the person I need to speak with, I guess is what I'm saying. And I haven't had that opportunity to talk with him. And I haven't also either had the opportunity to talk with Peter offline about how the process works. But there's a couple between hard copy and electronic copy, and things aren't always getting meshed. And I'm not sure what's happening. Like by way of example, Mr. Garrick, was that who it was who
Yeah.
said
He had submitted
you know,
pictures.
so, you know, he submitted them late. So I don't necessarily think that there's an issue with the fact that they weren't uploaded. However, he thought that they were going to be uploaded. He was surprised that they weren't there. So, you know, in a conversation that I was having with Linda at one point last week or the week before, I was saying, you know, I really think that on our list of materials, the lists of things that people are supposed to include, they need to have the responsibility to go on and look at their application prior to the meeting and make sure that everything's there. And if it's not there, then they need to reach out to Tom and say, hey, this isn't there.
But do they have access?
Yes. So
Those
when
would
we
be
get the
public.
link, they get the link as well, and they can go online and see what materials have been uploaded to be
So we
presented.
usually get it like the Friday before.
Right. So
Close
if I
to
could-
it.
If I could just interject for a minute,
Please.
you know, we are refining the way that we're doing things every week. We're trying harder and harder to do it better and better. And so this particular week, we do, and we also, Tom and Peter and I, we meet every week. We go over the applications. we knew that we were looking for pictures from McGarrick, who actually provided pictures, and also from Casella, who thought he provided pictures. I don't have an email. I didn't see that Tom uploaded anything, so we're unclear about that. But so last week I emailed you folks. It's on the web portal. I also emailed the applicants. Here's your link. This is how you join. This is the phone number, the Zoom link. And by the way, go to the website, take a look at what I've uploaded. If you see anything that isn't there, please let me know.
Oh, well, that's pretty thorough.
Right. I did receive a response to let me know that a couple of sheets hadn't made it. I put them on. We did receive from McGarrick his subsequent photos. So I feel like at least this week we were a well-oiled machine, and providing the applicants as much info as we could possibly provide them. And certainly, via email and, our names and numbers, if they were confused, they could call us. So I feel like this week we did it. Now, do we always hit it out of the park? No, probably not, because we're human. But I feel like this week we did. And I don't know what more we can do to help them.
Well, and that's kind of my point with what Linda was saying. I think there's two things that need to occur. At some point, the applicant needs to take responsibility for the application and make sure that everything that they want in the application is available. And then the other thing is, I think that the dates need to be clear as to all of your materials need to be in by this date to make it on this agenda. And if you have additional materials, then, as a result of a continuation, then they need to be in by this date. And that's a little fluid. So I have to circle back with Tom on that.
How did that one case show up as a regular hearing when they thought it was a pre-hearing?
They probably put in an application and just submitted enough material. I mean, if you went back, they actually did in fact submit an application.
And Don, the other thing too is we send a letter, and it's called a notice of hearing. And we send it out and we say, you have a hearing on this date, and here's what you're going to be speaking to. And this is, so I'm not, either they're not reading the letter, which in my personal life, I sometimes don't read things either. Or the letter is just missing the mark in terms of making it clear to them, this is a public hearing, but the letter's pretty clear. So.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't like telling nice people who aren't familiar with the process that, hey, you don't have your materials, we're going to have to continue you, and they get all irritated. However, there's lots of checklists that they've had to get through to get to this point. And that's, one of the things where, I think that checking your application before your hearing would alleviate a lot of the issues. Because only they know what they want in their application. Linda and Tom and Peter can't guess, and things get missed. So I think that that's, did you check your application when you were mailed the link will be helpful.
Yeah, I keep going back to, you can only give them so much information, and eventually they got to be accountable for it.
Right.
Or
But
they
that
gotta
doesn't have
wait a
anything-
couple weeks till the next meeting.
Right.
Right.
But I do think, to Todd's point, we should have some delineation on dates, and it's my fault that I haven't circled back with Tom. I've just been busy and I haven't had an opportunity. So I will try to do that tomorrow.
Thank you, Sarah.
Along
May I
with
ask-
the answer to Todd's question.
May I ask a question about the election of officers?
Sure.
When you send out the email to remind all of us that we have to be there, can you kind of break down what the officers do, and also who's a viable candidate from the perspective, like, I believe at one meeting, someone said the alternates are not allowed to run for election.
Office. Right, sure, I'll be happy to do that.
Just to kind of, so everybody's on the same page.
Okay.
With that, please.
Happy to.
Thank you.
Anyone have anything else? No? All
Yep.
right. Well, it was lovely to see you all this evening.
Yes.
Sorry I was late.
That's okay. You made it.
Have a good
I'm
night.
sorry. I'm sorry. My daughter broke down on the side of 95, and I was late as well. So
Oh, goodness.
Is she all right?
she's perfectly fine. She's just a
Oh, good.
knucklehead. But
It's the car that's hurting, I guess.
exactly.
All right, you guys have a
All right,
great
we're
time.
adjourned.
See you in a
Thank
couple
you.
weeks.
All right,
Have a good night.
bye-bye.